Hey there, I'm Anthomnia, the Sleepless Gamer. Today I'm going to give you a guide and some tips and tricks to be a better protection paladin in World of Warcraft 6.2.2 PvP combat. Like and subscribe for more, and I'd just like to say thank you so much for all the support. It means the world to me. So, what's the deal with protection paladins these days? Well, protection paladins are actually useful in PvP combat, unlike past expansions. As you all probably know, you'd never see a prot spec of anything in a battleground previous from Warlords of Draenor, maybe Mist of Pandaria if they were incredibly geared, but otherwise they were not viable at all for PvP. Now, I have extensive knowledge of using a protection paladin all through Warlords of Draenor. That's all I did, protection paladin. Then I switched over to holy for this patch and the previous patch for a little bit. However, I have always had my mind set on protection. And here are the main reasons why. We block a shit ton. I think in this video, my block chance is almost 50%. I know last patch it was 55%, so I still have to refine my stats and get some better gear because I was completely geared out last patch. But 55% seems like it's the cap, so you block, 55% of the time, and that includes with spells because we have the last talent you could choose. I think it's Holy Shield, and not only does that block spell, it'll also go ahead and send some damage back at the person. You'll probably see it here in this video, actually. But these guys right now, I'm thinking flag cappers, hard points, not really a primary class, but more of a support class. Like in this video, I keep these people hunkered down as long as I can, focused on me and in groups, away from our flag carrier or away from the combat. If I can keep 4 or 5 people on me trying to kill me, well that, every second counts and it keeps them away from anyone else in the group that might not be able to soak up damage like I currently can as a protection paladin. Having that huge health pool also helps big time along with my cooldowns. So, moving on to cooldowns. Well, I use Guardian of the Ancient Kings when I see someone else blow their cooldowns. For example, if a paladin decides to pop all of his cooldowns on me, his wings, everything, do the whole Red Bull thing and attack me, please don't sue me, Red Bull, attack me all out, I will pop Guardian of the Ancient Kings, and that will basically reduce all the damage I take by 50%, completely nullifying the damage that he can do to me, plus the bonus of the damage that he does to me. I think really the only thing I have to worry about at that point are his critical strikes, and usually they're not very high when I have this protection, this defensive cooldown activated. Now I'm going to give you guys a cool little tip that I had learned a little while ago that I made a lot of people fall to their death with. I remember I was flying around and just going back to Holy Shield. I was using Holy Shield at the time, and it allowed me to block while I was on a mount. So I was flying in the air, and the horde would fly up out of nowhere, and they'd use their slow fall and attack me. Well, unfortunately for them, when they hit me, I had a chance to block it, and I usually block the dots that they put on me, and it would shoot a beam back to them, and when it hit them, it made them fall to their death. Yeah, that's right. It makes them fall to their death. Their slow fall, it removes it completely because they take damage. Any sort of damage will stop them from being able to stay in that slow fall motion and attack you. So that's a good little tidbit of information for you guys there. As a protection paladin, I think in these types of battlegrounds, arenas you can't do it, but in these battlegrounds, it's really smart to have some of those rockets on you and some healing potions or that, what is it? The gnome shield, whatever it is. It's like a 70k shield or something like that for like 10-12 seconds. Those help out big time too when you're dealing with larger groups of people. Now, we're not squishy at all as a protection paladin. I mean, it's a little bit squishier than a warrior, but we are still hard as nails as far as I'm concerned. We're built like a brick shithouse. And brick shithouse, wow. But yeah, like it's really hard to kill us, even with the flag and the debuffs on us. It is still really hard to kill a protection paladin. So for those of you who are not sure if it's good for, PvP combat or, just don't know if it's good for world PvP or anything like that in general, I would say case by case basis, you guys. I mean, it depends what you want to play. If you would enjoy to play a protection paladin, I mean, go for it. You can see the video here, what we can do and the type of damage we can do, the type of damage we can sustain, our self-sustainability, that stuff. And we do play an important class role as far as you know, taking that flag from one side of the base to the other, which, you know, it's a slow process for us because we don't have very many movement speed buffs. However, wow, I'm in real shit here, aren't I? However, we can spec into different spots to get a little burst of speed every now and again, which won't leave us out in the open and stuff like that. Wow, I really took a beating there. I didn't realize it was that much of a much of an assault. And always have a pocket healer ready, obviously, because even that kind of damage, it's really hard to soak up that much damage at once to to survive that. So, what else is there in Paladins right now? Well, I use double stam trinkets. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's gross. Why are you using dual stam trinkets? That's gross. You should use something else." Well, no, I don't want to because I enjoy having a fuck ton of health because it's that much more health people have to take down off of me. Granted, it might be a critical strike chance or two, or a critical strike or two that'll take me down. It's still more than nothing, and I would much rather have 2 more critical strikes on me that have to take me down rather than, you know, I don't know, an increase in my mastery or something that'll give me like a 2% increase in my block chance or something like that. I would much rather be able to soak up those 2 extra hits because countless times it happens in WoW where you are playing and it's like, oh, I almost got that heal off. If I had 1 millisecond more, I would have healed him and all that stuff. Well, that gives the priests or paladins or whoever else is going to be healing me lots of time to heal me. Wow, I just bitch slapped him with my shield. Oh, and Avenging Shield. There's a talent you can choose. What is it? There's one that allows you to have use your hands twice. I think it's Clemency or something. Yeah, you can use your hand ability twice, which is really good for Hand of Sacrifice and Hand of Freedom and stuff like that. I would definitely recommend using that of anything else because it gives you your maneuverability, and it gives you a much better support tactic if you have to cast, your Hand of Sacrifice, which transfers 30% of all damage from that target to you. That could really help out big time. I mean, that's a 30% damage reduction. Sure, it goes on to you, but I mean, you got a fuck ton of health anyways. Who gives a shit? And now we move into Divine Purpose. As a Protection Paladin, this gives your Word of Glory and Shield of the Righteousness a 25% chance to cause your next Word of Glory or Shield of Righteousness to consume no holy power but cast as if 3 were consumed. Now you'll see that proc a couple times in this video where I could just keep on smashing them over and over and over with my shield and just have no repercussions, no holy power spent, no nothing. I choose that over Sanctified Wrath and Holy Avenger just because this is a passive. It is constantly ongoing. You have a chance to constantly be able to smash them with your shield or heal yourself up with Word of Glory. There's numerous different ways to use this, and I'm surprised I don't see many more people use this talent because I find that it, sometimes it'll proc at the right time, and I can just melt someone down by smacking him in the face with my shield. Now, in closing, I gotta tell you guys now, Protection Paladin, 1 versus 1, yeah, sure. Some classes, it's okay to 1 versus 1 them. It's perfectly fine. You can handle them. Other classes, like hunters or anything that can kite you or something that can out heal you, well, 1, you'll never kill a healer. I can tell you that much right now. Not a chance in hell. I would love to see if someone can kill a healer as a Protection Paladin because I have yet to do that. Even someone that's slightly less geared than you, I mean, it's gonna be a hell of a time to take them down to half health, let alone all the way down. It's oh man, it's a headache to even think about that. But that's pretty well all the time I have, as I can already sense that motorcycle is going to go down the road and rumble on by, ruining the video for the 5th time in a row. Anyone who doesn't know, you'd probably hear it in my other videos. But tongue punch that like button, subscribe today to feed that late night video addiction and show me some support, and comment below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Protection Paladin spec I have running. I'm Anthomnia, the Sleepless Gamer, and if you can't sleep, think of me.
Shit! Oh no! Shit! I fucked up so bad! Get off the fucking thing! Go! Oh.